So I'm back here with Tony from Smart Start Puppies. One thing I completely forgot about last time is let's talk about how you got started in the business because we talked about how you started 25 years ago, 30 years ago, but we didn't talk about what brought you into the industry, what made you want to start dog training.
Well, first of all, thank you for getting me back over here again. My life took quite a few different turns. Like everybody does, some for the good, some for the worst, some for the bad. But at the end of the day, if we're all able to spin it right back around to line up with what your end results want to be, whatever those end results might be, and in my case, my end result was to be working with dogs, and here I am today working with dogs. It's good. So the story is pretty funny. I started off as a kindergarten through third grade teacher in what today is known as Wynwood. There was a school back then by the name of Buena Vista Elementary. I started off teaching over there and assisting with administrative duties and so forth.
And what year was this?
Oh my gosh. We're going back maybe to, 97.
97.
97,
Wow, okay.
96, 97, something like that.
Okay.
And then, I love kids. I tell people all the time I have patience to two lives, kids
And dogs.
and dogs. This is my dog, Astro. I brought him here today. He hangs out pretty much, not every day, but I thought this would be cool and funny. So
You got the cone of
everybody
shame
can see
on
him
right
with the
now.
cone on the
Yeah.
head. All of these bumps on the cone are all bumps from him trying to figure out, how to move around the house because he's bumping into everything. But stay. So, I started off as a teacher. I caught wind of a program called Southeastern Guide Dogs, and they help inmates with raising puppies. So, I reached out to them. They put me into the program to where I was able to assist in that program with the inmates. I was able to coach on how to potty train puppies. I went through the program of the Southeastern Guide Dog program. And then when that wrapped up, I caught myself going back into an office type of environment. I was always in sales. Got into an office where we were doing sales, but for marketing. So I learned a little bit of the marketing. And then one day I woke up and I said to myself, why not combine these two? I mean, I'm obviously good in, what I know about now with marketing. And we're going back into the 97 stage when, .coms kind of like started first hitting or, that type of era.
Okay. Beginning of digital marketing.
In the digital marketing world. And then I built my first website. I went on there and I built my first website. And with what I knew with dogs, I put a couple of ads together. I learned a little bit about Google Ads, and here we are, 20
That must have been
years.
the first ad ever, man. 97.
Yeah. No, well, it was a little bit later after. It was after 97. It was to be honest with you, it was probably around that 2000 mark.
Okay, so it had been a few years, and it was already called Smart Start Puppies, or it was something else back then.
Back then it was just me trying to figure out, if this would work.
Okay.
So having problems with a dog, looking for dog training, we would have the magnets on the cars. Nope, stay. We would have the magnets on the cars, and I would be walking around, and I would see a dog with a person, and I would be like, hey, your dog looks like it needs dog training. That's where I learned you don't ask people on the street, if they need dog training, because they're gonna look at you, like, no, my dog doesn't need dog training.
Defensive.
But there's the dog jumping up and going after the other dog. So I learned how to ask that correctly. You go along the road and you go over through some bumps, and you find yourself if you push and don't quit, you find yourself back to where you want to be. And it's the grind of teaching dogs today how to behave the right way in a household without the husband and the wife getting into it, without mom and dad buying a dog for a kid and mom and dad having to take care of the dog because the kids are not responsible enough or haven't been taught the responsibility on how to do that. We work a lot with families that have kids. so that it doesn't have to come from mom and dad. I think that's very, very important in the household. So part of the things that got me here is a lot of the things that I did prior to me being a dog trainer, and being that I have a kid, I have put forth some quote unquote dog training techniques on on my child. And he's 14 years old. I never put a leash on him, right? Dog training is all consistency, repetition, voice inflection, body language. All of that goes.
So dog training translates to kid training, is what you're trying to say.
I get it told to me all the time. It's a joke. It's like, hey, Tony, how much would it cost you for you to stay here with us and do what you're doing to our dogs, to our kids? I'm like, guys, I got a wife, I got a kid, I got a dog. I can't do that. So, but it's a funny joke, and it's funny that it's funny because it happens a lot.
Often?
Yeah.
So you started this, let's say, circa 2000, and you're harassing people on the street, you're trying to, you're getting people to hire you to do basic dog training, I'm guessing back then.
Yes.
Is it from that day forward that you've been in the industry, or did you get out, come back in? When did it become what it is today? Smart Start Puppies. When was it like oh wow, this is what I'm good at?
That's it, man. It's been all day. It's been since day one.
So it was since
It's gonna be since day one. My office side of the dog training world came. When I was learning, sales, when I was learning marketing, when I, had to sink my head and get on the phone with people and really, learn how to communicate.
And this became your full-time job around that time, or did you have something else at first? And then, I want to know when you committed. You were like, oh wow, I'm good at this. Like, this is what I need to do.
2000.
2000. So it was right away. Okay.
2000.
So you've technically Smart Start Puppies has been alive for over 25 years. Then it's been 25 plus, 1997. So it's
exactly
okay. Wow.
Yeah. So it's been in my ears and my dreams and my talk throughout the day, every day for 25 years plus.
And then so you were a kindergarten teacher, third grade teacher around there, and
First, second, and third.
Before you took on that program, did you have any affection towards dogs? Did you ever train a dog before that?
My first dog was at 5 years old.
So when you started that program with the inmates, you already kind of wanted to be a dog trainer, or was it that program that kind of opened your eyes to it?
It was maybe a little bit of both, because I was working with the inmates and then I was also working with the dogs. So I was still teaching, right? And I'm doing what I'm doing today.
You just have that naturally in you too.
Education.
Yeah, education.
Coaching.
Yeah.
Coaching. I get calls all the time. We get calls for office coaching techniques. They call us to see how it is that they could do better on the telephones, how they could schedule more people. Why is it that they're spending money on their ads and their ads are not working? So my life today, it's dogs. But there's so many facades of dogs, that you could go to where people that don't know how to run a business but love dogs tend to call me and figure out, hey, how can you help us better our office?
Yeah.
How can we grow?
I've met a lot of your previous clients, and I'm like, oh, what are we doing here with this person today? And you're like, I just stayed in touch with them after I taught a class 10 years ago. I'm like, okay. When we went to the career day at that school.
Oh,
just random.
Yeah, a teacher.
Yeah,
one of the teachers.
Just a random client.
It's relationship building, right? And then Astral Stay. It's relationship building and just keeping in touch with as many people as possible.
Yeah.
And today, luckily, through social media, we're able to
it's a little easier,
reach out a little bit easier. However, when you do type something on social media, it doesn't come out as the way that I would say it to someone. So not everybody knows how to read the context of social media out there. So for all of you people, that you do get responses from us or from friends or family, the text doesn't read the way the ear hears.
Of course, yeah. You got to experience Tony in person. But all right, I'm sure there's probably hundreds, maybe even thousands of people right now that are super grateful
Stay.
that what happened 25 years ago happened because I'm sure you have thousands of testimonials by now, change people's lives, change people's pets. So thank you on their part, and thank you for coming out tonight,
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
sir.